Good evening, everyone. My name is Martin Bodek. I am the author of Zaidy's War. The one tip that I have for you is to do everything that Kenneth Price says and to copy everything he does. I went to reach for my book and somehow, just like he does with everyone else, you just end up holding his book and have selfies taken with them. Incredible stuff. I don't know how you pull it off, but I'll probe you the rest of the evening. It is an absolute pleasure to be engulfed by you, surrounded by you, and amongst you. I really missed seeing you last year, and it's really a delight to be here. I actually love every single person in this room. Elizabeth said to speak about how the book, or writing the book, has changed your life and what it's meant to me. So in my instance, it changed my life in ways that I expected it to, and it also changed my life in ways that I did not expect. So the way that it did change for me in a way that I expected was, as some of you may recall, last time we met in the Dutch consulate, we got around in a circle, actually an oval, and we each expressed to Lisbeth how thankful we were for her, and additionally pledged our fealty, devotion, and undying loyalty as well. And if you don't recall at all, I was completely silent because I had paralyzing stage fright. I consider myself a sit-down comedian because I'm funny on paper, but not in front of a crowd. I'm working on that. But right after that meeting, I put on my big boy pants and I emailed every JCC, library, Jewish institution, asylum, penitentiary, and what have you. And they put me in front of crowds, and that was kind of what I expected to happen because I was impressed with my own story that I had to tell about my grandfather, and was totally within the lines of my expectations. So I've had a fair amount of success, just like the rest of you in this room, but I felt it coming. I've been a writer for a long time. I've written 12 books. I'm cranking out more. And this is what I envisioned in my head would happen. That's what I felt was coming to me, and things are going great. The ways that it changed my life in ways that I did not expect it to happen was completely different. One of the ways it happened is, to paraphrase Groucho Marx, I am now part of a club that will have me as a member. It's really great, and Michael Hickens' simple suggestion to create a group opened up an entire universe for me, one that I enjoy on a daily basis, and everyone's supportive of each other, and everyone is advising each other, and everyone's got each other's backs, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I enjoy every single minute of it. I did not expect that to happen. I did not expect to be part of a club. You know, I have a few relationships with publishers. I don't know anyone else in the stable, in the house, but here we all know each other and we support each other, and it's absolutely fantastic. I didn't see it coming. I didn't foresee how much I would enjoy it. The other way that it changed my life was in an even deeper way. So my book is Zaidy's War, and it's about my grandfather. So my mother, who is Zaidy's daughter, and I have gotten much closer. So in a world where we hear stories of people falling apart as families and fractures and things not going well and when are they going to call each other, the complete opposite has happened to me just past middle age. Instead of worrying and wondering about what might have been with the relationship, I'm well ahead of the game. Where I used to call my mother just on Erev Shabbos before Shabbat, now I talk to her every day. She was my research assistant for the book, and she was absolutely enamored with my endeavor, and we are closer than we've ever been before. And I did not see that coming, but it came, and I embrace it. The other way that it changed my life, in a very profound way, was I am the only non-Hasidic person in my family. I have 44 first cousins. And you may not know it from looking at me, but I am the least religiously strict of the whole lot. And they still used to send me wedding invitations, and I used to ignore them. They weren't really that close. There was nothing really to bond about. But they too became my research assistants because I pulled them into the process. So I now have 44 first cousins, and I attend all their weddings. And I have, believe it or not, approximately 400 to 450 first cousins once removed. I don't know their names. I don't know even a tenth of their names, and I try, my God, I try to make it to their weddings, but it's impossible. There are like 150 per year, and I just do the best that I can, but I show up. And I did not expect the desire to be out there and keep myself as busy as I am. So it's been an absolute pleasure reconnecting with my family. So what's happened is I thought that I would be engaging with the public and becoming this public figure and this public speaker, and that's been wonderful because that's happened, but I've also grown my own nucleus and my own family, and I've gotten closer with the bonds of family, and that's been something that I did not expect to happen. I would like to thank Elizabeth in a specific way. I'd like to do another paraphrase. For those of you who remember, there was a commercial in the 80s and 90s for Champion Bank, and the tagline was, "When your bank says no, Champion says yes." Okay? Elizabeth, when your publisher says no, Elizabeth says yes. And Elizabeth said yes to all of us, which is why we're gathered here in this room. I'd like to conclude by saying that when I speak, I'm always experimenting, as are you all probably, with opening jokes and closing statements to see what's the most effective. You change it with the crowd, elderly or younger, religious, not religious, the kind of institution it is. I found one that works. I'd like to try it on you. I'm curious about your reaction. When I finished writing the book and I presented it to my mom as a finished product, obviously she was over the moon. There were tears of joy and tears of happiness and tears of exultation. And she took it and she grabbed it and she ran into the living room and she sat down and read it for 4 hours. She came back out of the room and she goes, "Matre," that's my Yiddish name, "Matre, I have a problem with you." I'm like, "Excuse me? You've been working with me on this book for 2 years. This is now 19 years in the making since our original interview with our grandfather. And the first word you have to tell me is that you have a problem with me? Mommy, what is the problem?" So she says like this: "You put tributes in the end of the book to other family members. And part of these tributes were the headstones of each family member." She goes, "You didn't give Zaidy a headstone. Why not?" So I had to think quickly because I knew I made a mistake. How did I leave out the headstone? So on my feet, it took me 2.5 seconds, and I said, "Ma, I didn't write this book to give Zaidy a place to rest. I wrote it to bring him to life." So thank you for bringing all your stories to life, and thank you, Elizabeth, for making it happen.